Star Trek's Picard, Janeway, and T'Pol officially unite as villains? Some of Star Trek's biggest icons, including Picard, Janeway, and T'Pol, have come together as villains. The aforementioned characters are some of the franchise's most popular, and now, in a first look at Star Trek Lower Decks #2, the young lieutenants of the Cerritos come face to face with holographic variants of their heroes. Yet in a twist, these Starfleet legends are out to kill them. IDW shared their solicitations for December and January, including Star Trek Lower Decks #2. The book will be written by Ryan North and drawn by Derek Charm, and the solicitation reads as follows. Mariner, T'Lyn, Rutherford, and Tendi have beamed off the mysterious USS Bonaventure and onto an equally mysterious surface of an unknown world, significantly raising the statistical likelihood of death and injury. Finally, the crew is up to their necks in adventure. There's the senior staff's safety to confirm, a weird planet to escape, and an alien race that wishes to learn more about mentorship. Through a battle royale, enter Yagia Dax, Montgomery Scott, Catherine Janeway, T'Pol, and Jean-Luc Picard as the mentors, and the lower deckers as the mints. May the best student live. The replicas of Picard, Janeway, T'Pol are described in the solicitation as mentors to Boimler, Mariner, and company. However, Star Trek Lower Decks #2's cover by Charm paints a more hostile picture, as the mentors and the mints have an intense stare down. Star Trek Lower Decks reinforces everything great about the franchise while subverting it at the same time. Star Trek Lower Decks is a love letter to the franchise, albeit one that regularly skewers its tropes, and Charm's cover to issue 2 embodies this approach. While the solicitation does not make it clear how the mentors are created, given that some of them are long dead, it stands to reason they are replicas or simulacra of the original. Star Trek, particularly the original series, featured alien races who, through various means, could create powerful illusions. This trope can trace its roots all the way back to The Cage, Star Trek's original pilot. Derek Charm's cover of Star Trek Lower Decks #2 not only sends up some of Trek's more goofy concepts, but also pays loving tribute to them. Every episode of Star Trek Lower Decks is loaded with deep-cut references from across Trek's 58-year history. Casual viewers need not be concerned with these Easter eggs, but for longtime fans, they can greatly enhance the episode. Every Star Trek show has been referenced, even Star Trek, Enterprise, and the animated series, which are often viewed as the black sheep of the franchise. T'Pol's appearance is a historic occasion for Star Trek comics. Of particular note to fans is that Charm included T'Pol on the cover of Star Trek Lower Decks #2. The science officer aboard Captain Jonathan Archer's Enterprise, T'Pol, played an important role in strengthening human-Vulcan relations. Originally assigned to Enterprise to watch the upstart humans, T'Pol came to appreciate them and all their quirks and flaws. Vulcans and humans had been living together more or less peacefully since first contact, but tensions still ran high. T'Pol helped bridge the gap between the two species, and in the process, helped lay the groundwork for the Federation. Star Trek Enterprise was controversial in its day, but fandom has, much like T'Pol with humans, come to embrace it warts and all. Later Trek shows and movies revealed the enormous legacy of Captain Archer and his crew. However, the crew of Enterprise, including T'Pol, have been given short shrift in comics. Enterprise has only made one comic book appearance in an anthology series released to coincide with Star Trek's 50th anniversary. However, T'Pol's inclusion on the cover alongside other franchise icons, such as Picard and Janeway, raises the hope Enterprise could return in comic form. In the annals of Starfleet history, few names inspire more admiration and respect than Jean-Luc Picard, Catherine Janeway, and T'Pol. Picard, the wise and diplomatic captain of the USS Enterprise, has become synonymous with integrity and principled leadership. Janeway, the unrelenting commander of the USS Voyager, symbolizes resilience and resourcefulness in the face of adversity. T'Pol, the logical and brilliant science officer from the 22nd century's Enterprise, serves as a shining example of Vulcan intellect tempered by evolving human emotion. Yet, in a shocking twist of fate, these 3 titans of Federation lore are about to embrace an unprecedented role, that of villains. Rumors had swirled for weeks about a mysterious Star Trek project that would challenge the conventions of the franchise. Fans speculated about multiverse crossovers or a united front against a massive external threat. But no one could have anticipated what was finally revealed: a darker, alternate reality where Picard, Janeway, and T'Pol turn their backs on the Federation's ideals and become the galaxy's greatest villains. The announcement came via a cinematic teaser that sent shockwaves through the fandom. The scene opens with a shadowed figure standing before a grand galactic council, cloaked in black, with ominous music rumbling in the background. As the camera zooms closer, the figure's face is revealed: Jean-Luc Picard. However, this is not the serene, measured leader we know. His eyes are cold, hardened by a lifetime of betrayal. "The Federation is no longer what it once was," he intones gravely. "It's time for something better. Something stronger." Cut to Janeway, standing on the bridge of a menacing, unfamiliar starship, her eyes flashing with cold determination. "Order requires sacrifice," she declares. "And those who can't see that will be swept aside." T'Pol appears next, in a sleek and dangerous-looking Vulcan vessel, but gone is her characteristic emotional restraint. Her voice, still calm, carries an edge as sharp as a blade. Logic dictates the strong must lead. "We have been patient for too long." In this alternate universe, the trio represents a radical faction bent on seizing control of the galaxy. Their journey into villainy began with the downfall of the Federation, which crumbled under the weight of political corruption, internal conflict, and external threats from once subdued enemies. Disillusioned by the inefficacy and hypocrisy of Starfleet's governing body, these once heroes embraced a new philosophy, one where power and control would bring about the order they longed for. Picard, ever the philosopher and diplomat, became the architect of a new intergalactic order. However, his vision of unity was born not from compassion, but from ruthlessness. He realized that negotiation and diplomacy were inadequate in the face of the galaxy's chaos. To restore order, he believes, the Federation must be rebuilt through dominance, even if that means ruling through fear. Janeway, having experienced 7 years stranded in the Delta Quadrant, developed a new outlook on survival and leadership. No longer the idealist, she turned to more authoritarian measures, willing to sacrifice anything and anyone necessary to preserve her crew and her power. Her deep sense of responsibility, once a virtue, has morphed into a ruthless conviction that she alone must guide the galaxy toward stability. T'Pol's transformation is perhaps the most chilling. Her dedication to Vulcan logic, initially pure, became tainted by the realization that logic could justify any action if it served a greater good. As Starfleet faltered and the Federation disintegrated, T'Pol's cold, methodical nature led her to conclude that the Federation's weakness was compassion itself. In her new role, she advocates for a society where emotion is seen as a liability and absolute order must be maintained at any cost. She holds the reins of a vast armada, ready to impose this logical tyranny upon any who would oppose them. Their villainous union is not without internal tension. Picard's desire for a benevolent empire often clashes with Janeway's harsher methods of control, while T'Pol, true to her Vulcan heritage, insists on calculated pragmatism that sometimes borders on cruelty. Their dynamic, while united by a common goal of dominance, is fraught with disagreements that make their alliance as fragile as it is formidable. The plot, rumored to unfold across multiple episodes, sees the trio confront their former allies, those still loyal to the remnants of the Federation, led by a coalition of Starfleet officers determined to restore democracy and freedom to the galaxy.